Okay, that's a great time to transition to another topic that you and I had discussed, and that is we are calling it the saving and the educating of black children. And you're going to be doing a parenting, what is it called, Dr. Johnson?
The National Black Parent Know Your School Rights Training Tour.
Right. And so give us a quick overview on that. And I've got some things here I'm going to read. And let's discuss those items in terms of educating and saving our children, starting with, like you said, parenting. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. The Know Your School Rights Boot Camp is a tour that I'm taking across the country to train black parents in the art of how to protect their children from educational abuse and mental health exploitation. It is a 12-hour boot camp. It begins at 9 in the morning. It goes until 9 p.m. We were supposed to be in Oklahoma City on the 21st and Greensboro, North Carolina yesterday, but we had to postpone it due to the shut-in regulations. But we will be rescheduling those tours. The next one will be in New Haven, Connecticut, scheduled for April 11th, but there's a possibility we may have to postpone that one as well. But the goal is to teach parents everything they need to know from A to V. A meaning autism, V meaning vaccinations, and everything in between. The IEP, the psychological evaluation, the 504 plan, the learning disability, ADHD, psychiatric meds, change of placement, parents' rights. We literally cover about 30 different topics in the course of 12 hours. It is literally a boot camp.
Have you heard of Anita Thomas, Ph.D.?
I have not.
Okay, neither have I, but I pulled this article off just for today so we could take a look at it. And here's something I think the two of you will like. It says the primary goal of parenting is to transmit values. Well, first of all, this article is titled Promoting Culturally Affirming Parenting and African American Parents. And it says, the first paragraph, it says, a primary goal of parenting is to transmit values, beliefs, and ideas around lifestyles based on cultural knowledge and the adult tasks and competences needed for appropriate functioning in society. And it goes on to talk about African American parents transmitting awareness of cultural values, norms as integrated into parenting. Child rearing has been shaped by the stripping of support system through the experience of slavery, Jim Crow laws enacted after the Reconstruction period in forms of modern racism, microaggression, oppression, etc. And then it goes on to say some things about corporal punishment. Let's go to you next. Dr. Umar Johnson, that paragraph that I just read, how would you summarize that in terms of saving, educating African American children? This paper also says that the idea of corporal punishment, hitting, spanking, all that, is subsiding among African American parents. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, quickly, I wanted to also state that there is a patent on the coronavirus, and the first company, from what I understand, to have patented the first strain of coronavirus is the Chiron Corporation, CHIRON. In fact, for most biological weapons, they have a patent. Whenever you find a disease with a patent, that means it was created. AIDS has a patent. Ebola has a patent. The coronavirus has a patent, and corona was patented by the Chiron Corporation. Again, you can do your research, CHIRON. That's the corporation that created the disease for the United States government. Getting back to educating our children. With regard to corporal punishment, I am a school psychologist who supports corporal punishment. Okay, I do not see a problem with a child being spanked when it is necessary, but only when it is necessary. Correct. When a parent is spanking their child as the first form of discipline, that's called child abuse. Correct. But there are times where I feel it is justifiable. And in my opinion, I believe that when a child commits a behavioral infraction that could have significantly affected their life or the life of another person, then they are entitled to an ass whipping. So, for example, if your child scored low on the test, if they came home late, if they didn't do their homework, I don't think that necessitates corporal punishment. It necessitates a consequence, but not corporal punishment. But if your child is caught joyriding in a stolen car, playing with matches, starting a fire, disrespecting their elders, then in my opinion, that necessitates an ass whipping. And the reason why African Americans got involved in corporal punishment in the first place, we need to understand the history of corporal punishment. Corporal punishment, going back to antebellum America, was introduced by black parents as a way of teaching their children the significance of misbehavior in the white establishment. In other words, if you talk back to a police officer, it could cost you your life. If you don't know how to be respectful in the face of white power, it could cost you your life. So we spank our children at home as a means of preparing them to the seriousness of consequences that would be distributed by the white power structure if you made these same mistakes outside of the house. It was never about punishing children for the sake of punishing children. It was about punishing children to prepare them for the punishments they would get in the white world if they did not exercise discipline.
We've learned about fictive kinship. We've learned about the extended family as well, and values. And how does those words shape up in your experience and your studying? Fictive kinship, extended family, and networking, sir.
Yes, well, one thing I wanted to just clarify briefly is when you go back to traditional Africa and you look at the rites of passage programs that young African men were put through, they were not always nonviolent. There were consequences, and those consequences were physical. So the belief that corporal punishment totally comes from the experience of slavery is incorrect.
Okay.
You will find corporal punishment in traditional African rites of passage programs for boys. But with that being said, I just want to reiterate my premise that I totally believe it is unnecessary to physically punish a child for frivolous offenses. But I stand firmly on my position that very serious, life-threatening behaviors, in my opinion, can warrant corporal punishment. With that being said, I think we have to keep in mind that most of our children are being raised by single mothers. And I'm putting emphasis on that because when we talk about discipline, which in my opinion is the most important responsibility of a black parent, is to teach their child discipline. We cannot approach discipline for our children the way other ethnic groups approach discipline for their children.
Sure.
And the reason we cannot is because consequences for black youth are unlike consequences for any other child. No other child is treated in America the way black children are treated. In America, there is no such thing as childhood for black children. Whether you are 3 or 13, you will be treated as if you were 33. Whether you are 3 or 13, you will be treated as if you are 33. Just like the brother mentioned a minute ago, the disparity in out-of-school suspensions, which is something I speak on a lot, clearly shows you that black boys are not given an opportunity to be boys. They are treated like men, and they are given the consequences of men, which is why we see so many black boys right now serving time in adult correctional facilities. So with that being said, I think the black community needs to evolve where we create a system of discipline and behavioral accountability that is implemented on the community level, not the household level. Because you cannot expect these single-parent mothers who are raising 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 children alone, working 2, 3, 4 jobs just to make ends meet. We cannot expect them to be the be-all and end-all when it comes to properly raising and training the next generation of black boys. Where is the black church? Where is the black politician? Where is the black community-based organizations leader? Where is the black businessman? We have to bring all stakeholders in at this meeting to create this community discipline program and stop making black women the sole responsible party for raising black boys.
Now, you mentioned manhood, or you mentioned women being the sole household leader of the family. So question number one, if with more fathers in the homes, does this curtail the atrocities that we see in black communities? Number two, second question, should we have, as a people, evolved from many years back, years ago, the way things were done on the continent and even in this country among black people, to say communication and intelligence at that level is the highest form of a discipline? And number three, in my experience, and this paper says that this, and I guess we're talking about degrees of violence heaped upon black males, because they seem to be getting the brunt of all of this stuff. They still end up being violent and end up in prison. Your feedback on that, Dr. Johnson?
Well, when you deal with mass incarceration, criminals are made by the society in which they live. I always say that the mother of all violence is miseducation, and the father of all violence is economic castration. So we cannot reduce mass incarceration simply to being the side effect of poor parenting or lack of discipline. Not true at all. You can take me. I have 6 degrees. I've never been in prison. But if you take my ability to earn a legal living from me, then I may have to consider committing crime as well. It has nothing to do with a lack of discipline or poor parenting, a lack of opportunities. That's the issue with mass incarceration, a lack of economic opportunity. With that being said, though, I think we still have to recognize the role that discipline can even play as a mitigating circumstance between the black man and the white power structure, which is to say that the black boy must be taught discipline. If he does not have it, this society is set up in such a way that it hunts out black males who don't have discipline, and it uses their lack of discipline to destroy them. Financial discipline, emotional discipline, sexual discipline, industrial discipline, and academic discipline. Those are the 5 major forms of discipline that we have to make sure we teach to our men.
Okay. And then we were talking about the evolution of us as a people.
Getting back to community is what we need to do. But see, here's the issue. The issue is most black people are not ready yet to divorce themselves from the institutions of America. They are not yet ready to rid themselves of the American power structure. Until we are willing to say we are going to be totally responsible and accountable for the success of the black community, until we are at the point where we are really ready to live a life of self-determination and self-reliance, this is going to be difficult, because for most of us, in the back of our psyche, we're still thinking we can go to the white man for this, we can go to the white man for that. As long as we involve him and his institutions in our community life, we will fail. The solution is community. Everything that we need, we have. The problem is we're not organized. And most of us are not interested in getting organized, because 99% of black people in America are interested in more fully participating in white America's reality, not into more fully creating an independent black reality. We really want to be white folks at the end of the day, most of us. So we're not really interested in doing what's right for black folks, because we're too often trying to copy the white folks.
Come on.
Now, there are a few. There are some women, single household, and some parents who are interested in saving and educating black children, and those are the ones that we should be reaching out to.
Absolutely. I just did an interview on Fox Soul 3 days ago on homeschooling, how to homeschool your children during this crisis, emergency homeschooling. And then following that, I did a video that any of your listeners can watch. It is on my Facebook page, Dr. Umar Ifatunde. It's a 1-hour seminar on how to create an effective emergency homeschooling program for your children. Because I'm of the position, as an educator and a psychologist, I'm of the position that our children should not be sitting home playing video games all day long and watching TV.
Sure.
We need to be educating them during this time. And this is the perfect opportunity, again, for black parents to experiment with homeschooling, because many of them will find it's not as difficult as they thought that it was.
Yeah.
And they will also find that they're very capable of doing it themselves. And when school does open up, I suspect that a lot of black parents won't be sending their children back after learning how to effectively homeschool themselves.
Mm-hmm. I think, Omar, that we've somehow, if you've ever looked up the word discipline, it takes you to disciple. I think somehow that we've missed the mark on what the word really means. It means to learn, or learn how to learn, and learn how to be a good student. And so, Omar, having said that, and in reference to homeschooling, perhaps homeschooling would be, we're talking about alternatives, would be a good alternative for especially young males, young black males, to learn in view of this thing we're talking about, discipline. What do you say?
Let's go back to a couple of more points to this term called community discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, and I have to always go back in the day, because even though I was poor as hell, I didn't know I was poor as hell. We had community discipline. If you got in trouble down the street, Miss Moody would correct you down the street. And before you got up the street, your mama was waiting for you and your dad was waiting for you at the door.